I was really interested in being a part of Pinups for Vets, just throughout the history of what Pinups for Vets has always been about. It's supported our veterans, it's provided a chance for women veterans to also showcase not just their outside beauty, but the inner beauty and just the amazing accomplishments that they have done. And it was a huge interest to me because of now where I'm at in my journey with both being an organ donor, a veteran, a social worker. I felt like this was the most opportune time, and I am so thrilled that I was selected to be a part of this amazing cohort. My grandfather served in the Air Force for 20 years, give or take. I think it was about 20 years, according to the story that I've heard. So my other grandfather also served as well, and that was really the only history of military in our family. We've had descendants along the way, of course, who have served, but nobody living that I really was able to connect with, except for my grandfather on my father's side. By the time I was old enough to really understand what the military was like, or to even consider it, my maternal grandfather had already passed. So my papa Ralph was the one who really planted that seed in my mind whenever I was young about the military, but I never once thought that it would be something I could actually do or would even consider. I had dreams of becoming a special effects makeup artist, so I had moved out to California in 2009 expecting to fulfill that dream of mine, and I just kept hitting roadblock after roadblock, and I thought, well, why not try the military? My grandfather's voice was still ringing in my ear and telling me just give it a shot. And so I did. I took that leap of faith, and here I am being able to share my story, and it's led me into so many amazing paths along the way that I never would have anticipated or never could have happened had it not have been for the military. In 2014, I was deployed to Djibouti, and so this was just any other normal deployment, nothing super special about it. It was just something I was tasked to go on, and it was my time to go again. And so we're about a month or so into the deployment, and during that time there, different shifts did different things. So I was on a night shift, and so part of our duty and the particular position I was supposed to be tasked at for that evening was going to really around the base, I guess, and we were doing exercises with different people and different posts. And so we had just completed an exercise, and so everybody was kind of hyped up with a lot of energy. And next thing I know, we're driving in the vehicle, and I kind of had this feeling like something's just not right. And I don't know what it was. I've never really had that before, ever. It was just a feeling that something's going to happen. And then a second later, the vehicle fishtails, and we are spinning and rolling down this little ravine. It was kind of over a bridge, but it was still, 3 or 4 rolls from what I remember. And we landed right side up. And so that experience is what initially caused the traumatic brain injury that I was eventually diagnosed with. And that was in 2013. And it wasn't until years after I had separated from the Air Force that I was finally diagnosed by a VA neurologist with this condition. So I had my honorable discharge in 2016, and that led me to Ms. Veteran America, which led me into becoming a student of social work. And that put me in the position I needed to for my internship at my congressman's office in Georgia. Well, I had eventually gotten hired on there, and as I'm sitting in my office one day, we get this magazine for the Military Times. At this point, I'd been working at the office for about 3 years, and not once in the 3 years that I had been there have we ever received a magazine for Military Times. And so I am flipping through the magazine, and all of a sudden I see this ad for Donor Outreach for Veterans, or DOVE. So it was about kidney donation and becoming a donor and helping those on the transplant list, specifically veterans. So I decided, why not? I know I'm in pretty good health. So what do I have to lose? Let me just go through the process and get some more information and see if this is for me. And so we did. I donated. It was a special time for me to choose when I could donate, which was on May 25th of 22. And I did that because it was Memorial Day weekend, and I knew that I was going to be donating to a veteran. So I specifically chose that weekend to be able to donate. And then, of course, a few years later, I became a liver donor, and I didn't have any stipulations with the liver donation. I just knew that it was something that I had wanted to do. In 2023, we had hiked Mount Kilimanjaro with another group of it was donors, recipients, medical professionals, all sorts of people. And I had met some double donors along the way in that journey, and that inspired me even further to go through with the process. And I did. I hope they see someone who wants to encourage and empower others to make a difference in their community. You don't have to save a life by donating an organ. You can do that simply by an act of selflessness, of going out and helping others in whatever that looks like to you. If it's donating your time, if it's financial donation, you don't have to do an extreme act like I did. I really took it to the next level, I think, with the organ donation. But overall, there's always a place for you and your community to be able to help support others.